All right. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Jody, and you are watching Type 1 Diabetes TV, the place to be for living a long and healthy life with T1D. And today I'm interviewing my fabulous, wonderful soul sister, fellow Type 1, Daniele Hargenrader.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having me on.
I'm so excited. Danielle and I are truly T1D soul sisters. We met on Skype, and then we met, it was only like a month later. I was going to a diabetes conference in Vegas, and I said, oh, you should come. I have a hotel room, and, just stay in my hotel room. And literally she goes, 2 days later, she goes, I bought my tickets. And then I said, well, she's like, I get in at midnight. I'm like, oh, well, I like my sleep. So just come on in and we'll meet in the morning. And literally that's what we did. We both slept in a hotel room in,
not ever having actually spoken to each other in person, obviously online, but yeah, walked in, closed the door, was hoping it was her under the covers, because, but once I heard the Dexcom, beeps, I was like, okay, well, at least it's somebody who has diabetes.
Yeah, that was like 3 years.
2015.
15. Okay.
15. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Danielle's been part of my type 1 diabetes retreat. I've been on her summit last year. I'll be on her summit this year. And that's what we'll be talking about today. I've been out to visit her in Pennsylvania twice. Yeah. So we talk every month. Yeah. So today I'm really excited to tell all of you, or for all of you to learn from Danielle what she is up to with that big banner behind. So Danielle, well, first of all, how long have you had type 1? We'll just get that out of the way.
28 years.
28 years. So
28 years.
Yeah. Okay. I got about 10 years on you.
Since I was 8. So you can do math. Yeah.
Yep. I'm at a lot of years now. So Danielle, I am so excited for your summit. Tell all my listeners about your summit. What is it?
Well, thank you, first of all, for being you. And as you said, being such a good friend and someone that we can be very real with each other, which is so valuable in life and especially with T1D. But so for the summit, really what it is, it's an event. So it's essentially, it's a diabetes conference, but it's online and it's free to attend. That's the main difference, because for me, like Jody, I do coaching. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I do a lot of mindset coaching and helping people get past the idea of victimhood and all these other things. And one of the things I always tell people to do is to engage in peer support, like we do, and because it's so uplifting. And I always recommend to people, oh, you should try going to a diabetes conference. There's so many of them out there. There's, something for everyone. There's so many different varieties. But the people I would talk to, and still do, they'll say things like, well, it costs so much money to travel to the event or to register for the event or to pay for the food, the lodging, all of these other things. I can't take the time off from work. I have kids. All of these very real, not excuses. These are real things that most people can't always fit into their day, but they say, I want to learn from these the speakers, the presenters. I want to learn from these people, how are they managing their diabetes? So I said, okay, I'll put this together online and for free. And so really that's what it is. It's the Diabetes Empowerment Summit. It's really the only online diabetes conference that 100% focuses on the mental and emotional aspects of living well with type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. I know your people out there listening to Jody stuff are type 1, but the thing is about the mindset of living with a chronic disease, a lot of the things that we need to do, regardless of what type we have, are very similar. So I like to be inclusive in that, because people with type 2 need just as much help as we do. So I like to be inclusive of that. And yeah, so it's 5 days, May 1st through 5th. And all you need to do is go to des2019.com and register, and then you'll receive an email and some bonuses, and you'll be there and you'll hear from me about the speaker agenda. And of course, Jody will be giving her presentation, and it's awesome. It's just a great way to kind of dip your toe in the diabetes conference pond. And there's a Facebook plugin as well. So you can interact, you can comment or you can talk about stuff that you saw if you want to, and I'll be in there. So you can still do like a little social part, but you don't have to, because a lot of people get nervous about that. So yeah.
Right. So you have access to, I think how many speakers are there this year?
So we are a few weeks out at this point, and I'm still may have a couple more left. It's a scheduling thing with a lot of people. So I believe we have a total of 28 speakers this year, but it could be plus or minus 1 or 2 going one way or the other.
So that means there's 5 amazing interviews just available to you
maybe
online.
More. Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I assume you have the 5 today free, then the 5 on Tuesday free. And then by the end, you can buy the whole series. Because, I mean, nobody's got 5 hours a day, every day but
Right. Well,
right.
Yeah, totally. So we do have the VIP All Access Pass, which is you can buy that now. That's just for sale. And until the summit starts on May 1st, it's actually $47, which is half price. And the proceeds are going to a diabetes charity called We Are Diabetes. So it's actually, you're doing yourself a gift by having this access to this forever. You can listen to all of the presentations at any time in your members portal, and you're making a donation to an amazing type 1 diabetes focused charity. So it's kind of like a win-win for everyone. But what we're going to do is release however many speakers per day. At this point, it'll probably be about 6. You'll have access to those 6 for 48 hours post. So May 1st, up until May 3rd, you'll be able to watch May 1st, 2nd. The other thing we really tried to do based on previous year's summits, because we really do want people to be able to pick and choose the presentations that they want to see. So we tried to limit each one to about 30 minutes. Some of them do go a little bit longer, but instead of it being an hour per presentation, we tried to really make it a little bit.
I think that's so smart. I think that's really smart.
You can kind of jam in as many as you can or want to. And the last couple days of the summit are on a weekend. So that, and we'll give you the schedule ahead of time so you can see who's going to get released on each day and say, okay, this is one appeals to me, this person appeals to me.
That's great.
You can kind of mark it in your calendar so you have plenty of time to do that.
It's so great. It's such a, I mean, if you are experiencing burnout or overwhelm, or you're feeling lonely, or you're just like fed up, it's like such a beautiful week of inspiration. And our energies, and 20 other people that love to talk. I start crying, actually. So Danielle interviews half, and then Asha, who is the...
We tried to do a little half and half thing. I did the majority, but Asha is the most amazing person. She has, not only does she live with type 1 diabetes, but she lives with Addison's disease, which is another chronic illness that, like, we have to updose our insulin. She has to do that for her insulin and her cortisol, which is a daily struggle. So sometimes her health, as much as she is a warrior, it kind of can get in the way a little bit. So I did a lot more of the interviews, but she definitely interviewed Jody and and a couple of other people, and she's been incredibly helpful. And she's the person who runs the diabetes charity organization where the VIP pass proceeds will be going to. But
she runs her organization is called We Are Diabetes, and it's all about supporting type 1s with eating disorders, which is such. I mean, that would have changed my life if I had access to that when I was going through my eating disorder.
Yeah, so all 3 of us, you, me, and Asha, are all in recovery. I think we always will be, because living with a disease that forces you to obsess about food can lead to obsessive behaviors. And thankfully, we're all on the other side of that now. But what Asha does is she helps people who are still working through that. So it's really necessary.
So you'll meet her, and and everybody. Do all of the speakers have type 1?
No, some have type 2, and some are either parents of people with type 1, caregivers or people with other different kinds of diabetes, or people who have worked in the space for 20, 30 years and have some very particular investment. And usually it's an emotional investment in the outcome of our lives for people with diabetes. But the very vast majority of people, I'd say 95% or more, have some type of diabetes themselves. And that's really, for me, the differentiator, because there are other diabetes summits that exist out there, which are great. But I think that a lot of times when we live with a disease, if the advice we're being given is coming from somebody who has absolutely no idea what the lived experience of the disease is like, it can be helpful, but it can also be more difficult to swallow, because it's well-meaning and it can be super helpful, but that I try to keep it as real as possible. Anybody out there talking is because they've lived it. And
exactly. Yeah. So all you have to do is go to des2019.com and sign up, and that's it. That's it. And it's such a great event. It's so empowering and so positive. And diabetes can be heavy. Life can be heavy, and there's nothing heavy about this event. It's just fun, and it's just on your computer. So it's and Danielle has been working for months and months and months, getting all the speakers together and the sponsors together and the emails together. So May 1st through 5th. Yes. And so anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I thank you for taking the time to share this with those who follow you, who obviously are smart people, because if you're listening to Dr. Jody, you're obviously a very smart person. And yeah, I hope to see everybody there on the summit, and I hope that you gain some valuable mental and emotional hygiene tools to help you better manage life with diabetes in a way that feels less heavy.
And that's one thing that I think is a great thing to end on is not only will you be uplifted by the summit, but there's tangible tools,
Yes.
tangible tools. My whole interview was Asha asking me, how do I handle hard times?
Yes.
And, you know, so that question is, I think, repeated quite a bit. You know, how do you handle hard times? How do you, so you'll walk away not only motivated, but with tangible tools that can help you just navigate this complex world. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, well, that's a wrap. I'm so glad that you watched this video. I hope you guys are having a great day. This has been Type 1 Diabetes TV, and I'm Dr. Jody. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.